Ontario Premier Doug Ford is expected to face some tough questions today. First, his housing minister resigned in the ongoing controversy about the land swap in the Greenbelt region around Toronto. And then he shuffled his cabinet. The Globe and Mail's Laura Stone is here with a look at that and the news from the rest of the world of politics. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
Let's start in Ontario. Steve Clark, Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, resigned from his cabinet position. We already know Ontario's Integrity Commissioner and the Auditor General both found Clark failed to properly oversee the land swap in the Greenbelt, which is said to have favored developers connected to the Conservative Party. Premier Ford is expected to speak to media at 10 o'clock this morning. We're also expecting to hear from Leader of the Opposition, Marit Stiles. What are we expecting to hear from both of them?
Well, Anne-Marie, it certainly wasn't a quiet holiday Monday in the world of Ontario politics. Look, I mean, it was somewhat of a surprise to see Steve Clark resign, and that's because just last week, both Mr. Clark and Mr. Ford resisted calls for him to resign. We've heard from the opposition over weeks since the Auditor General's report dropped, and last week since the Integrity Commissioner found that Steve Clark breached ethics rules in this Greenbelt swap, calls for him to step down from the role. Mr. Ford said just a few days ago he has confidence in his minister, and so I think today what we're going to hear from the opposition is a continued push for Mr. Ford and his government to cancel their plan to develop on these Greenbelt lands. This is something that the Auditor General also called on the government to revisit its decision. So far, Mr. Ford has said, look, while he's not happy about the process for selecting the lands, he's going to forge ahead and build housing. So I think that's kind of going to be the focus of today, certainly what the timing of Mr. Clark's resignation means, but also will the government go back and stop their plan to build on these Greenbelt lands, which opposition MPs, environmental groups, and First Nations groups have been calling for weeks.
Yeah, interesting one to follow.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.